chosen.
Hi, truth seekers. Today's video is going to be on the Coomer fellow. In this short clip, Coomer explains how you can use the Dominion software to adjudicate, or that is correct a ballot when incorrect markings are used. In its more corrupt usage, technicians with access to the system can simply input whatever votes they choose in order to replace the intent of the voter's scanned ballot.
A typical voter intent issue where they didn't fill out the ovals completely, they just made little tick marks. It's what's called an ambiguous mark. And what we're saying is we're not sure what the voter intent is, but we're going to allow the adjudicators to make that call based on any kind of state statutes. So right on the screen, I can go ahead and say, you know what, the voter meant to mark these. They wanted those votes to count for those candidates. I can do the back page. I'm not going to fill all of them in here. And then I hit complete. It's going to go on to the next ballot. And this is another classic one where the voter has circled the names instead of filling in the ovals. Any ballot that needs to be looked at will show up automatically on the screen. Some key things here. This is a great tool for doing things like audits and recounts. Okay, so things like 5% recounts these days. We have an entire...
Anyways, if a ballot is incorrectly marked, do you believe it should be counted? Or is curing ballots in this fashion ripe for fraud? Now, in contrast, we have a more recent clip of the Dominion voting spokesperson telling us the capabilities of the machine. Now keep in mind what you just saw.
It is not physically possible for our machines to switch votes from one candidate to the other. In company, it is not physically possible for our machines to switch votes from one candidate to the other.
Now, is that true with what you just seen?
And nonpartisan poll watchers. We simply provide a tool to count the ballots and to print and count ballots. There is no way such a massive fraud could have taken place, and there are no connections between our company and Venezuela, Germany, Barcelona, Kathmandu, whatever the latest conspiracy theory is.
Okay, people, now just think about what you just heard regarding the location of the original interlocked businesses that control these devices. Here's a piece from 2006 on CNN. Let's look for a contrast.
United States, like this election in Chicago in March. But Smartmatic has only 5 to 7 people working in Boca Raton, Florida. Smartmatic is a labyrinth of international holding companies owned by Venezuelan businessmen. The Smartmatic and other voting machine companies are private companies. They have proprietary software that can call a trade secret. Electronic voting experts with extensive experience say it's nearly impossible to verify if a proprietary system is tamper-proof.
All of the voting system
There you go. This clip further explores the connections between the country of Venezuela and Smartmatic. It also shows an association between the companies Smartmatic and Dominion. Now before I play that, just a reminder.
And there are no connections between our company and Venezuela, Germany, Barcelona, Kathmandu.
On credibility and integrity. You did unequivocally point out here that Smartmatic has never been a Venezuelan company, but correct me if I'm wrong, the chairman that had preceded you was a Venezuelan, and in fact, allegedly, Smartmatic had ties with the late former president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. How do you explain all of that?
Well, you know, I think the big word is allegedly. The former chairman, who is still CEO, so still very involved in the business, leads it in fact, you know, was a resident of Florida when these systems were designed.
Okay.
You know, the fact is, yes, part of our technology is licensed from Dominion, but you tell me.
You heard that?
Our technology is licensed from Dominion, but you tell me.
Okay, so that does not speak towards a current relationship between Dominion and Smartmatic, since this interview is 2015. Now we go to a Newsmax piece. The question I have about the guy being interviewed is, where did he get the information about how the votes were switched? And how is that information associated with the alleged seizure of Seidel in Germany?
Things are going to come out. What things?
Well, like I said, the servers that were seized in Germany, first of all, why are American election ballots being counted overseas? That's a question that we have to get to the bottom of. But some of the raw data coming off of this is showing clear examples of how votes were actually switched by an algorithm in the software. It was distributed for every single votes that go one way for one candidate. They automatically add votes another. That's why you saw even the New York Times own data tracker on election night. Within 68 seconds, President Trump went from being ahead by tens of thousands of votes. I think it was in Wisconsin, to all of a sudden being behind 10,000 votes in 68 seconds. That's a statistical anomaly. It cannot happen.
So what you're pointing to specifically, you think a bombshell announcement is going to happen with Dominion voting systems, the software that was used on Dominion specifically. Is that correct? Is that what I'm reading?
The fact that Dominion and Smartmatic have become household names in America is freaking the Democrats out. You can see them on Twitter. You can see the media melting down, just absolutely amplifying their false claims.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you previously saw that there was a relationship between Smartmatic and Dominion, at least for the year 2015. Just years prior, there was actually a lawsuit between the two organizations. This article is dated September 18th, 2012. It essentially discusses how Smartmatic sued Dominion Voting Systems for a breach of licensing and improper business practices. I won't go through it here, it's a Business Wire article. And just to drive home that the individual Dr. Eric Coomer, who previously demonstrated to you that the votes indeed could be manipulated on the screen of the Dominion vote tabulating software, here is a brief mention of Dr. Coomer's anti-Donald Trump manifesto, which he posted on Facebook on June the 2nd. In case you didn't know, Antifa has made a statement. To all media, public statement from Antifa in response to threats issued by United States President Donald J. Trump. Dear Mr. Trump, let's be perfectly clear. Antifa isn't an organization. There are no memberships, no meetings, no dues, no rules, no leaders, no structure. It is literally an idea and nothing more. Even the claim of its author to represent Antifa is one made unilaterally for the purpose of this communication and nothing more. Okay, in this last part I can't really confirm. Jim Hoft of the Gateway Pundit did an article which attempted to demonstrate that Eric Coomer previously had a page under Dominion Voting Systems on LinkedIn that was deleted. This is an archive page that we have a screenshot shown of, and it shows Eric Coomer's profile. He was the director of product strategy of Dominion Voting Systems in Denver, Colorado. If you Twitter search Dominion LinkedIn, you'll find a number of posts that reference a theory that many previous employees of Dominion, over 100, delete their profiles. This person comments, "This woman is the government affairs executive for Dominion Voting Systems. Last week when I first posted a question to her, she had her picture on LinkedIn. Now it's gone." And you see Kay Stimson has a picture removed there. Anyways, that's all for now. There's a lot going on here.